Libra, and Happy New Year 2026. We got a brand new year coming up, and we are going to go through the highlights of the year. So get your pens, your notepad out. Do have a few dates that might be important for you to keep track of. So let's start with Mars, Libra. I'd like to start with Mars because Mars really shows us our physical drive, right? Our goals that we put the energy behind and of what we want to conclude. Now, Mars is going to transit 8 of your 12 houses this year. There's no retrograde, so Mars is going to be hammering down, totally focused, no hiccups, no delays. So stay on top of it. Use this power, use this drive. So be sure to check in throughout the year where Mars is in your own natal chart transiting, just so you can ride the wave, so to speak. But it starts in your 4th house. So you might have already started this before the shift of the year here at the end of 2025. And that is showing that there's been an extra attention to family, maybe your parents, so to speak. It could be projects in your home environment that you want to do. And you still have some time to conclude that before it moves into your 5th house for love and relationships, for your children, self-expression, having a jolly good time right there. Moving into Pisces, 6th house, which is all going to be about your day-to-day schedule and diets and how you work with your co-workers. 7th house of long-term relationships, partners, anybody you work with one-on-one. Cruising through your 8th house of finances, not the month-to-month income, but more money placements and savings and royalties, commissions, and so forth. 9th house picking up maybe a class later on this year, or going back to school, or just diving in to your higher nature and philosophy and so forth. And then coming to your career towards the end of the year, putting a lot of dynamic energy there for 6 weeks, then within groups, organizations, friendships, and so forth, only to shut it down at the end of the year, 9 degrees Virgo in the 12th house. Trust me, by then, you're going to feel a little bit a blast with the energy that you've been putting out. You've been so focused here at Libra and been doing really, really good. So December for you is all going to be about retreat and sink into your inner self. That being said, let's turn to Jupiter. We love Jupiter, don't we? It's been expanding in your 10th house of career here in 25. So in 26, you will see that it's really going to take on a new direction, but not before July 1st. So it starts off in retrograde, January 1st, will be there to March 11th. So currently you're looking at your long-term goals. That could be your career or anything else, Libra, that you foresee for yourself as goals that you want to attain. Jupiter is expanding this for you. There's new vision coming in, new experiences as far as growing into more of what you're nurturing and how you're being nurtured. Many of you might have felt that nurturing energy has been with you in 25, but hey, as you come into July 1st, it's moving into the area of hopes and dreams, maybe more travel. Even here until July, there's been travel, maybe even foreign countries are popping up for you. Jupiter rules foreign countries, foreign languages. Maybe you're learning a new language, all right? You're taking that with you from July 1st to the end of the year. It will retrograde down the road just from, let me see, what date would that be? Let me check that for you. It will retrograde, where? Yes, to November 3rd. 21 degrees there. And then I have to say, being in the sign of Leo, this is going to expand much more. It's the heart chakra. It's Leo, right? You might come to experience things that you were only dreaming of in the past. Long-term dreams now come to the forefront. You'll see that from July onwards to the end of the year. You might be traveling to new places you've never been before. So get ready for it, Libra. You will come to love it. Jupiter is what we say, it's our joy, it's our expansion, it's our journey here through the 3D level and inviting some of that 5D energy into it where we can grow and expand from it. I think you're going to have a blast. Get your pen out. We're talking about Mercury retrograde now, and there's always 3 per year, each of them lasting for approximately 3.5 weeks. And we always want to give it a little time before it starts and maybe a week afterwards just to get out of its own shadow. But Mercury retrograde, in short, is all about where we can come to experience delays, some confusion, some misunderstandings, and so forth. So we want to be a little bit prepared for when that's going to come. And that first one for you, Libra, is taking place in February. So that will be from February 26th to March 21st. That's the 3.5 weeks. Give it a little time on either end of it. So what can we expect? Well, when Mercury's retrograde in this area, there could be misunderstandings. So we really want to make sure that we're listening to our partner and vice versa, that we're hearing what they're saying. There could be things that hasn't really been expressed that now will come to the surface, and now we're going to have to deal with it. And of course, we always want to deal with it in the best possible way. So give it some love, give it some patience. We can really come to turn a page here if we do it correctly. But the 5th house is not just in our relationship. There could be people from our past coming back into the here and now, unfulfilled karma and so forth. So if you get anybody from your past coming in, make sure how you want to treat it, either to bring a full closure on it, or some of you might even pick it up and move on with it. Next phase with them, right? But it's also children. So there could be situations with children coming up that needs to be tweaked a little bit, and then so be it. We want to make sure that we're on their side, listening to them. But it's also creativity and self-expression. If you've had a lot of things that you've been wanting to bring to the forefront, didn't have time, remember Mars has been direct and it's hammering down, and we only have 24/7, right? This would be a time to reconnect with it. You don't have to go hunting from it. I am positive it's just going to show up in your life, and then wham, there it is. What do I want to do with it now? How do I want to express it? How do I want to bring it out? That is really, really fun. That's the higher expression of this Mercury retrograde. Next one will be Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer. Okay, so now we're looking at more the emotional side of life, how we can nurture or wanting to be more so nurtured. This one will be running from June 30th to July 24th. So, and it's in your 10th house of career. How can we nurture our coworkers? How can we nurture the dream of our goals? Things here now might shift upon you. We might have planned certain dates, and now those dates have to be changed due to whatever the circumstances might be. So be flexible in your work area and your workspace under this retrograde. Of course, we can get flustered and whatnot when things change upon us, especially when it comes to scheduling. But like I said, flexibility is going to bring you much better ahead. Third and last retrograde, Mercury retrograde, will be October 24th to November 14th. Now this one is going to be a little special. Not only is it in the sign of Scorpio, which can be intense, right? But it's showing up, Libra, I'm so sorry. It's showing up, Libra, in your 2nd house of money and income. So, as with all retrogrades, we want to make sure, especially with Mercury, not to really start anything new or sign any contracts or any important papers, and especially with what has to do with your finances at this time. You might sign up for something here now, and then within the 3.5 week, it might change, or if it's a deal, it might drop, it might fall. If you're signing up for a house, maybe your finances won't go through. That kind of thing. I think you get my drift. So we want to be very careful, lay low, especially because it's second house values under the period of October 24th to November 14th. So we're going to change and shift a dial. We're going to be looking at Uranus, the planet of change and awakening. I love, love, love this. Now, not only is it Uranus that's going to be changing signs, but Neptune and Pluto as well. All these three outer planets, the transpersonal, very spiritual planets, that brings you to an awakening that you are more than what meets the eye. It's not just the five senses. It's your higher being, your higher consciousness. Your psychic self is going to be opening up. And when Uranus comes in, it might even be shocking, Libra, when it happens, but you are definitely going to be feeling it. Uranus has been transiting through your 8th house for many years now, and it's been changing the way you've been saving money or looking at values, looking at security, looking at your retirement. Money has both come, maybe you've had big windfalls, but then it went out just as quickly as well. That's what Uranus does. It fluctuates, but now it is going to change signs from Taurus into Gemini. What's that going to do for you? Well, it's starting off retrograde, and it will go direct once we get into, let me see the date of it. That would be February 4th. Then what we're seeing is it's going to be moving direct and into Gemini full-time April 28th. Yeah, what can I say? You're in for it until 2033, because when Uranus goes into Gemini, it is going to really change the way you think, the way you see the world. Your long-term visions, or should I say dogma, maybe is a better word, the way you've looked at the world and the spiritual world, it might have been one way, but look how it's transformed. It's going to change. You're going to have insights, experiences, understanding. You might start researching more and finding the information that's really going to blow your mind. You're going to find rabbit holes up the gazoo. You're going to go down one rabbit hole after the other as all of this new information, which is going to change your outlook on the world, on the cosmos, the universe, your higher nature, who you are as a spiritual being, because we're not human beings with a spiritual experience. And I know many of you have heard that expression before, but we are in truth spiritual beings experiencing a human experience while we walk this planet for our earthly time, right? So you're going to be reconnecting to your long-term, real, authentic self, your spiritual being, and that research that you're going to be doing, it's going to blow your mind, just to say it simply. Uranus can be shocking, but as shocks opens new doors, you'll be shutting some old doors as well. I know this is going to be exciting for you. Talk about a treasure hunt. So let's move our focus to Neptune. It's been for many years now in the sign of Pisces, your 6th house. So you've kind of been shoring up what you've done day to day, your physical health, your diet, what you eat, what you don't eat, so forth. Now, though, it is moving into Aries at a very early stage here in January. Let me see the date exactly for you, if I can get that up here. Yes, and that is January 27th. Okay, so you're concluding here at the end of 25 and those first few weeks of January. Then it moves into Aries, where it's going to be for a number of years. What is that going to do? What can you expect, Libra? Well, Neptune is all about idealism, right? It's the higher octave of Venus, which is love. So this is a higher love coming into the 7th house. 7th house is all about relationships, marriage, your significant other, anybody you work with, maybe also one-on-one. But you're wanting to have the ideal relationship. We're talking not just soulmates, maybe it's a twin flame kind of deal, which is important to you Libras now coming in, having this Neptune, which is a cosmic kiss. It's a cosmic blessing of higher dimensional love. We're talking not just physical attraction, we're talking about that spiritual connection. Nothing less will do. And so for many years, you're going to be feeling the bliss of Neptune in this area, the seventh house of your chart, your solar chart, that is. So this is beautiful. It will retrograde, mind you, when we get to July 7th to December 13th. That's going to be a time where you will be tested or to work through whatever has expanded until July 7th. A time to work through and set things straight or balance up those scales, which of course is very important to you, being a Libra, right? So there's that. Then we're going to be moving on, shifting our focus to Pluto. And lo and behold, listen, Pluto has dipped its toes into Aquarius here in 25, but now it's moving in, will stay in your fifth house, in the sign of Aquarius for a number of years, 15 to 18 years here with all the retrogrades. And what is that going to do in the fifth house? It's creativity. It's self-expression. Pluto is all about death and rebirth. So you have concluded what you've been working for, where Pluto has been, which has been the home and family. You've had a lot of changes, Libra, with your children, your family, your parents, and so forth, your physical homes and locations. You might have been building, selling, and so forth, having had a lot of projects, but that's pretty much done. That's not what Pluto wants to rebuild now. What it's looking at, fifth house is love and romance. The seventh house we talked about, which is long-term relationships, marriage, and so forth. Neptune is there in that area of your chart, talking about all the idealistic emotions you want to bring to the table. Pluto is about transforming it on this level, romantically. So for many of you Libras out there, it's all about refining and bringing it up to new heights, new levels, seeing beyond the veil, looking at what is at the core of these relationships, or new relationships. For those of you looking for a new relationship, what are you looking for? Is it the same things you've been looking for in the past? Or is it now that you want the authenticity of your emotions to shine through? You're going to be feeling emotions stronger than you've ever felt before. Pluto is very, very dynamic. Trust me, it will go to the core and grip you there. It's wanting to express new things that you haven't expressed or experienced before either. And why is that? Well, it's in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is not old-fashioned. Pluto's been going through Capricorn. That's like more routine and the things that we know. No. Aquarius wants to explore new realms, new heights, new expressions to bring this passion out. So that's beautiful, having Neptune in the 7th, Pluto in the 5th. Trust me, you Libras, you're in for it. I hope you will take this to heart and ride that wave. Be open to it. Don't resist change. Saturn is all about stability, and stability has been a big keyword for you. All the known components, right? Because then you have control. You're going to have to be willing to let go of control to get to these new heights. You're going to have to learn how to trust, then just, surf that wave. Know that the wave knows where it's heading. I have made a couple of lyrics to songs. Sorry about that, a car passing here outside the window. I've made a couple of songs, a playlist here of songs for astrology. There is one called The Outer Planets. If you're into music and would love to hear some metaphysical, spiritual tunes, then I would, welcome you to go listen to the playlist. You'll find it here on my channel. Listen to The Outer Planets for sure. It describes more so where we're heading now, because all signs are going to be shifting since all these 3 planets are changing signs. That doesn't happen often. And so there's a huge tsunami coming. Catch it. Write your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you since I've been gone for so long, so that we can reconnect. And I wish you the very best of 2026, Libra. Till next time, take care now.